right, so let's take a look at the rounded shader in Blender. I'll show you how we bake it out. We're going to be using it Daniel Bystedts Baker tool, which if I press N here, you can see it's the BBB tab here. I've kind of pre-set up some stuff, but I'll run through how this all works. And then we'll bring it into Unreal because I would like to show you how powerful this is. So we've got our high poly mesh, our quote unquote high poly mesh. You can see if I turn edges on, it's not high poly at all. It's just a weird shape to test a few things made with booleans. And yeah, and then all I did was select all the edges that I considered hard edge and crease those, make sure they're hard edged, and then also put a UV seam there. And if we go actually to the low poly model, so we've got our low poly model, which is basically the same thing, but when you look at the UVs, I just basically took those things we marked out and then just did a quick unwrap. Of course, we've got some wasted space and whatnot in here, but that's not necessarily the reason we're looking at this when it comes to what I'm about to show you. But some things to note before we get into it is when you go to the high poly mesh, let's just select that one. When we go into the shading for it, you'll see I have a node here called Bevel. So you just press Shift A, press S, and then type in Bevel and hit enter. You'll get a bevel amount here, and you can sample all the way up to 16. If you manually type it in, you can get it up to 128, and I would suggest doing just that. Get all the way up to 128 just so that you get the cleanest like bevels in your normal bake that you can. And then you're going to want to play with the radius here to find out what's the best radius based on the size of your objects. Now, in order to check that, so we plug this into normals, and I've just named it Bevel Shader and applied it to this mesh. And then if we go here to the Scene tab, Render Engine, and you're going to want to switch to Cycles just to see it in action, just to see like what's happening with the Bevel Shader. And of course, it's going to be a little slow, but you'll be able to see the little edge there, and then you can dial in the amount here with that. So I press 0.1. You can see it's going to be a little wider. Still sharp there, but you can see there's a little bit of a gradient. I would say it's not going to be too clear to you until you just try it a few times. 0.05 seems to work for the shape I'm working with right now. So let's switch this back. You don't need to have it to cycles for the bake. We'll just go back to EV, and we'll go back to layout. So the high poly mesh has got that material on it, the bevel shader. The low poly mesh, I'm going to turn on here, doesn't have a material on it, but it's got its UVs, right? So if we press the N key here and bring up our side panel, I've pointed to a folder, and then I just said it was a 1024 by 1024. The bake workflow is high res to low res, and I'm like, sure, cage works, that's fine. Then we go down here, and what you want to do is you select your low poly and you create a bake collection, which is, it doesn't need the high poly in it, but yeah. So you've got your low poly in the bake collection. If you scroll down some more, by default, it'll look like this. So the active object is the one that you want to bake to, right? So if we click again, you can see I'm switching between the high and the low because they're on top of each other. So we want the low poly. When you click the high poly and you add selected, you can't because it says that the high poly is the one active. So what you actually need to do is have your low poly, pin it, and then select your now high poly and add selected. So it'll be looking at this mesh as your high poly mesh to bake to your low poly. One thing to note is when you're selecting in here, that doesn't correspond to like what you're selecting here. So you actually need to be doing the selections in the viewport. Now that we have that, we go down here and where are we at here? Bake passes. We want to make sure that we add a bake. Right now we've got this bake pass for normal, but I'll show you what this looks like. So select low poly. You've got your bake collection set up, add bake pass, and then you can select your types here. But what we're interested in is the normal. And then for testing inside of Blender, we're going to be doing OpenGL, but before you push it to Unreal, you're going to want that to be DirectX, of course, because that's what Unreal is reading for the normal normal map type. So let's select low poly, and then we'll just click bake on that, and then you'll see it's initializing, and then now it's done. If we click the little eye here, you should be able to see the normal bake, and you can see like, oh man, this is a pretty rough looking normal. But don't fret, your normals, it's looking at how your normal of your mesh is and then baking to that to get the effect. So when you see these seams, they're pretty extreme, but your normal is taking those into account for the bake. So as long as those seams or those hard edges stay the same, the normal will behave how it's supposed to. So let's minimize this. We'll click the little eye off again. And there's a button here right under the collections, bake collections window called create bake preview material. So if you click that, it'll apply the material to here. And you can see the bevels in here, right? And if we go to edit, you can see how low poly it is, but the bevels are all present. So this is really handy if you need to, if you want to try and cut some corners on time. Like for example, if we go here, so this is the Miro board to just explain production of an asset. So you reference gather based off of what you're trying to build, you block it out, then you ask yourself, does it need a high poly? Does it need a high poly model? If yes, then you build your high poly mesh, and maybe you do your high poly mesh created with some bevel shader use as well, so you can intermix the two, right? And then you have to make your low poly, and you can do some interchangeable work here where some of your low poly stuff is created while you're building your high as well. Once you get used to this process, you can just kind of go back and forth between the two, and sometimes do both of them at the same time. Then you create your UVs, bake your texture maps, start texturing in your texturing package of choice, and then you bring it into the engine. But if you say doesn't need a high poly, you say no, you just go low poly mesh, maybe low poly mesh with some face weighted normals, UVs created, texture package, and then Unreal Engine. You notice there's no baked texture maps. Maybe if you need some for procedural processes in Substance Painter, that would still be here. But one of the nice things is you save time here and possibly here with the baked texture maps, because you're not dealing with a high poly mesh, right? Now doing the bevel shader really speeds that process up, and you can see it here. Like, ignore the poor shadows, but there's a decent bevel happening on the mesh, which is great. This looks awesome. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and go back in here. We can just kill the material on that mesh, and let's tell the normal to be DirectX, and we'll rebake it. Just give it a second here. There we go. Okay, now we got our bake. You can create the baked preview material again, and you'll see it's going to look pretty wrong because it's not meant to read that, but it'll let you know that it's switched over, right? So let's go ahead and delete that material. Actually, no, let's keep that on there, because I think bringing it over into Unreal is going to make it, it's going to be easier for us if the material is already set up on the mesh. So I've been using this Blender for Unreal Engine, and I'll link in the, you'll see a link pop up in the video telling you I have a video that shows how I set this up and how it works. But essentially, I want to select my low poly mesh, export recursive, just so that it exports out. It's a static mesh, right? So if we go down here, we just want to, by default, these are all going to be on. We just want to make sure these are all off. And we're just bringing in a static mesh. And then for the static mesh location, you just go into Unreal, right? Find your folder you want to put it in. Right-click, show and explore, and then grab that path that you see here. Copy that, and then when you go back into Blender, paste that path here, and now it'll export to there. With the selection filter, make sure it's set to only selected or only select an active action. So I say only select. That way I just click this one and we're good. So nomenclature, just so you know, it's going to take this name, LP underscore whatever, and put the SM underscore at the front for static mesh, and then it will go to this folder for static meshes. You can see what is going to happen down here in the export processes where it says one asset will be exported. If I deselect it, 0 assets, right? So let's select this one. Let's hit export for Unreal. Now if we go to Unreal, it should just show up in here. We'll see. We shall see. It says it was just trying to. Let's see what's going on here. We'll just make sure everything's good. That's there. That's good. Static mesh, export. One exported correctly. Huh. Let's make sure this is pointing to the right folder. Oh, it might be because I was testing it out before SP whatever. Yeah, let me just double check that. It's because I've got a duplicate under it. Troubleshooting real time. Let's go. Okay, SP whatever. Okay, let's try that again. Export. There we go. Okay, and we'll say import. So it's going to bring in the normal as well because of the thing I was talking about where the material was on the asset. I'm just going to drag the asset out here, and on the asset, let's just make sure this is all set up already. I'm going to put a base material on here and save that. I'm going to double click this. This is not instance, so it's going to have to compile anyways. Bring the normal in here, drag it into the normal map. Looks like a normal is working indeed, so save that. And there we go. There's some bevels on there. Doesn't look too bad. And I didn't need a high poly for it either. We'll just make this a little bit bigger. We'll move the light around. Pretty cool. Anyways, I will make sure everything is linked in chat. I've made some chapters for you so you can jump around and figure out what the heck is going on. Because I feel like I just blasted through a bunch of information all at once. But yeah, free plugin, bringing it into Unreal. It's really handy. This should help you with some shortcuts on exporting out assets that would normally require quite an intense high poly model, and then some baking and turning it into a few pieces needing like the high poly work, and then these simpler details just getting by with the rendered shader. All right, I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for hanging out.